Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game 2 of the 2026 base game tournament. My opponent is still Vanali. This time, I am Shadow. Vanali has chosen to use the one muster point that we agreed free people would get in both games to put two regulars in Karok, which is kind of interesting. I think I'm going to continue to leave the discussion about muster points for a future date, but just know that this basically means that she gets to begin with two extra regulars in Karok, which is very interesting. I do like that. She also begins with Through a Day and a Night and Elven Rope. That's actually a pretty good combo. Through a Day and a Night, Confusion is good early if you don't think you're going to use it, and Elven Rope is good for cycling. I get Musterings of Long Planned War and Dreadful spells. Not super great cards, but we'll take them. Desperate Battle is fine, and I like Dreadful spells better than it actually has any reason to be liked. But even a Devilry isn't terrible. All right. So I'd go with 0 eyes. This is a tournament I do think there's the higher winning percentage play for Shadow. Even though I tend to do 1 eye because I just think it's more interesting. But in a tournament, I'm going to do the winning strategy. I do roll 3 eyes and only 1 muster, so that's unfortunate for me. Vanali then threatens crowning Aragorn. So if they had We Prove the Swifter, Through Day and a Night, they could ring crown. Instead, they do Elven Rope. Yep. And get The Eagles Are Coming. So pretty trash card. I go ahead and move Isengard down to war. I know some people do Sauron first if they only get 1 muster, but I don't know. This just seems more consistent with this roll to me. So yeah. Fellowship moves against 3 dice is missed, so no dead Gandalf this time. I move armies, North Dunland to Moria, Barad-dûr to Gorgoroth. Fellowship moves again. This time they are hit for a 0 reveal, so that's nice. So yeah, no Gandalf dead and a reveal. They're revealed outside Rivendell, which is excellent. Little unfortunate that I don't get to stack the North Dunland guy on them for rerolls. Pardon me. But that's all right. I do Gorgoroth to Morannon and Dol Guldur West. I'm just going to do an Elven Pincer, or at least start preparing for one. I think this is all right. Even the 2 extra guys in Karok doesn't dissuade me per se from that. They move the elves down, and I draw a character card. With a slow start like this, I want to give myself some options for corrupting the Fellowship. So drawing into a red tile is fine. It's a little annoying because I won't get benefit from it for a while, but red tiles are good. Going to the next round, I draw Lure of the Ring. Oh, sorry. Vanali draws Lure of the Ring for me by just hitting the wrong button. I said it's fine. It was a random draw. I'm fine with the draw. And then I draw Hill Trolls. Now Vanali draws We Prove the Swifter and Círdan's ships. That's interesting. I put the 1 eye. I consider doing more to try and catch them in Moria, but the Fellowship in Moria, but with Gandalf still the guide, I'm not like super hyper trying to kill Gandalf, so 1 eye is sufficient. I do roll 2 more and no more musters versus this roll. So it's a very Gandhi killing roll. You hide, move, maybe ring move, but you can't get Gandalf the White because I don't have a minion. So there's that. And I do have some Palantirs that can be played for effect, at least. Hill Trolls is fine, and on they went if I can't get Lure of the Ring off before they hide. So I'm not completely destitute there. And now the Fellowship is broken. Boromir and Strider take 1 step sideways into Moria. I get my chance to Lure of the Ring, which is very dangerous because I could get Gandalf. I get Merry, so that's fine. Of course, Merry then pops out and just joins Strider and Boromir in Moria. We prove the Swifter all the way to Moria, or Mordor, Minas Tirith. one of the places, from Moria to Minas Tirith. Activating Gondor. I put Nirn to Gorgoroth and Moran into Daggerlad. I'm going to need to quell Gondor, I figure. Aragorn is, of course, crowned. So, yeah, that's the thing. I draw a card. Why didn't I just play on they went? I guess I'm desperately searching for ways to reveal the Fellowship in Moria and just absolutely hammer them. Feels a little wacky, but okay. Elves go down towards war, and I in fact go to Southland, to Windvale, to Dimrildale. Sauron's still not at war, so maybe I don't need to do anything different. And at this point, I'm thinking Gondor, Rohan, and Lorien. Now, I mean, it'd be a very different game. I could still do the Elven Pincer to some extent, depending on how many musters the free people roll. It'd be interesting to see a game where that's how it went, where Dew was contested. It'd be an interesting, kind of what if. I do draw Shelob's Lair and Day Without Dawn. Obviously, Wormtongue is the odd man out here. Free people get Power of Tom Bombadil, so another card to help the North, and Mithril Coat and Sting, which is, of course, good. I get rid of Wormtongue, like I said. Yeah, 5 dice to 7. Yeah, that's less exciting for me. One Eye, still. She offers 0. I choose not to. And still no musters. Ugh. On the bright side, that's a pretty trash roll for the free people. They get some Palantirs. Obviously, in a musters, they can bring Gondor to war manually, I guess. But and with these cards, what are you gonna do with those cards? You can play Tom Bombadil. You get cycling from Gandalf, I guess. So, hides first. Yep, that's fine. I play on they went. Sure. Wonder if I should have played Shelob. Doesn't matter. Elves are brought to war. There's nothing I can do about it. I choose to stack a guy on the Fellowship. Yep. Okay. Tom Bombadil's played. North goes down, and Spirit of Mordor is drawn. And the turn that I stack an army to be Spirit of Mordorable, because that's a sentence, I use a character die to play Shelob's Lair. I think that makes sense. I'm obviously going to be a hyper slow military. The Fellowship lost 5 corruption in Aragorn, Strider / Boromir, and then sort of the extra one from Merry. So they've had quote unquote 6 corruption. So we're on a good start to a corruption victory if I can hold off the military. So getting Shelob's Lair out of my hand, I kind of like that. I like it well enough. Lorien gets an elf. And I move to North Anduin, or North Ithilien. I am risking Faramir's here, but instead it's just Círdan's. So that's not great. And then Gandalf cycles into Celeborn's. So Lorien's going to be a giant pile of no fun. Fellowship draws Axe and Bow and Thranduils. I would think the odd man out is Eagles Are Coming. Although you do have Boromir out for a heroic death, or even the Hobbit. Do you throw Thranduils since I'm not going to the north? That's a thought. I get Nazgul Search, which is excellent for just outside Moria and half-orcs and goblin men. I'll take that. Axe and Bow was killed. Interesting. Okay. Above Thranduils while you have the elves at war before I even get there? Maybe you just don't think you'll have the time to play it. One Eye. And I finally get my second muster. And the Fellowship gets a killing Gandalf roll. Ah, jeez. So, Fellowship moves Gondor down. Yep, that makes sense. I choose to put Sauron to war so that I can get Lorien under siege, while they don't have a muster showing. They have a will, but they're going to want to use that to get to, well, I guess they're no longer to get Gandalf. I guess I just didn't want to facilitate Gandalf right now. And I really wanted to get moving with, but what am I moving with? I don't even have one. I only have one more attack. Why did I do that? Don't really know why I did that. And now Aragorn moves out to his Gileath. This is scary because if I attack a scouts and then a through a day and a night gets them to Daggerlat, and I did not know, I wasn't thinking that, but I was definitely aware, or scouts and then a through a day and a night gets them to Western Brownlands to take Dol Guldur for free. I wasn't being particularly aware of the scouts, but I was being particularly aware of through a day and a night here. Obviously, I don't know that's in Vanali's hand, but I'm trying to be careful because I'm going for a corruption game and I just need to hold the military victory is in my mind right now. I try and dreadful spells as Gileath. I have 3 Palantirs and nothing to do with them. I mean, I can play half-orcs and hill trolls, maybe Nazgul Search, but I need to do something right now. 2 dice on his Gileath is fine. And I'm not going to be using this Devilry anytime soon. I get nothing. I say Vanali's was better. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was 2 or 3 hits, maybe 3 on Minas Tirith. It was awful. Fellowship does move. They're trying to kill Gandalf, but they're safe. This gives me the chance to Nazgul Search them. I swip swap. Obviously, Nazgul Search would have been better before the deadly dreadful spells because I could have maybe got one more in North Athelion, but this early game, you don't even have that many Nazgul to mess around with, and I certainly haven't had the musters to make them. So, Fellowship is revealed. It is an eye, so no damage, unfortunately. Hide with the will. I attack Lorien and leave a guy behind. I guess I just want Lorien to be under siege. Yeah. I tempted you. Oh, to field battle. Yeah. Yep. Thranduils is played. Really? Thranduils and not Celeborns? Or even Spirit of Mordor? You're going to double cycle because of Gandalf. You're going to overdraw. You get Faramir's. Foof. That's a hand. Surely you lose Eagles are coming now. Path of the Woses. You have 5 leadership in his Gileath. Surely a sudden strike is better than a heroic death right now. Even if you're going free people's military victory, wouldn't you want the sudden strike? Anyway. Don't know. Okay, burning through those elves, yes. The free people are down to 2 regulars. Okay. Don't think about it too much. Hill trolls on top of Lorien makes sense to me. I need the reinforcements to take it. Fellowship draws There's Another Way in Riders of Theoden. Really overdrawn. That's quite the hand. Holy cow. Yeah. Don't know what you draw there or discard there. I get Lidless Eye and Rage of the Dunlendings. These are just trash cards. What do they discard? Eagles are coming and Celeborns. You discard Celeborns while under siege. It's a daylight. I mean, I guess Riders of Theoden is also daylight. Maybe. Man. 1 eye. 2 more rolled, and finally, on turn 5, I get my 3rd and 4th musters. So I'm going to get Witch King and Saruman, but Free People gets a will, so they're probably going to get Gandalf, probably. They Faramir's me, get 1 hit, that's annoying. That is a dangerous army. I think about Saruman. Yeah, and they forgot their Gandalf draw, but it's a tournament, but it's not life and death here. I say, yeah, go draw. Get Kindred. So all the elf mustering cards. Is that true? Yes. All of them. Unless you count Grey Company. Yes. Okay. I go ahead and muster. I do have enough musters to get everything I want and start moving the Southrons down, since I'm going to need the reinforcements in the south, quite possibly. Fellowship moves, is hit for a 3. Gandalf dies. So efficient for the Free Peoples. I would have liked a 2 reveal there. Make them kill Gandalf inefficiently and reveal for a second draw. That'd be nice. And it's effectively, at this point, I choose to not get the Witch King and Saruman. In order to threaten Day Without Dawn, I guess. Give them 1 die, give me 2 dice. That seems like a fair trade to me. I don't know why I did that. That feels stupid. I do have Day Without Dawn, but I don't have dice to play it. Old Forest Road and Edoras to Westimnet. I do not approve of the Edoras to Westimnet move when you have Riders of Theoden and could have played it first. Or just Spirit of Mordor over Lorien. Again, I'm a little confused why that's not happening. I guess I guess Free People's putting a premium on the scouts, which is fine if you're going for some sort of, or like hoping to go for some sort of Free People's military victory shenanigans. The scouts is going to be worth more than not Lorien dying. I suppose. And I look at this and I just don't want to give them Gandhi. I sat here and thought about this for a long time. Again, I don't know why I didn't get both minions, but whatever. And I choose, you can see I thought about it for a long time. I choose to just move Holland to Moria, which does almost nothing. It does effectively nothing. But I just don't want to give them Gandalf. Free People at 6 dice is so much scarier than 5. But I'm keeping myself at 7. I'm keeping myself at 7 while holding Day Without Dawn, so there's some idea that I can prevent Gandalf in the future. I think I prefer a move to Dead Marshes here. Leave like Agai and North Ithilien so they can't through a day and a night, and then Dead Marshes to threaten Minas Tirith. I think I like that better. Free People draws a card. What is... You don't want to play any of these cards? You could through a day and a night to Eastern Emyn Wheel. And if I muster in Dol Guldur and Morannon, it'll just be 1 regular. You can hybrid move to either one, probably Eastern Brownlands, and have a Dol Guldur for near free. That feels pretty good. Strange. Okay, Mirror of Galadriel goes. That makes sense. I play Half-Orcs and Goblin on Lorien. Okay, sure. I prefer... I guess I'm about to overdraw and I really want to get that card out there, but I've got Lidless Eye that I'm going to do. Lidless Eye is not terrible. Words of Power here against an Aragorn could matter, I guess. Gondor goes to war. Oh, that's why you're not doing that. That's why you're not moving out with Gondor, because Gondor's not at war and I'm refusing to participate. Yep. Color me silly. Ignore everything I said previously. All right. Free People gets House of Stewards, which does not work in Osgiliath. It is not a Gondor region. And Guards of the Citadel. Holy buckets. Free People's hand has been stacked. Even the Brave Stand's fantastic in Osgiliath. It's a better than Daylight. I draw Ring Wraiths Are Abroad and Threats and Promises. One of those cards matters. The Devilry will be a throwaway card in Lorien. It's fine. Free People's Kills. There is another way. Wow. Full and Kindred makes sense. There is another way. That's a pretty big commitment to a Free People's military action when you're already down to 5 corruption worth of companions in, at effectively Dimmoral Dale. I offer cookies, but that does not keep Frodo in Moria. So, very interesting. Fellowship okay, 1 eye. Another one rolled. I have plenty of musters. Fellowship gets Will of the West, so they can try and wait out a Gandalf. Boromir goes back to Minas Tirith. I think this makes a bunch of sense. You can House of Stewards there. You can Guards of the Citadel, just manually muster, make Minas Tirith an actual army in addition to the Osgiliath army. And then Westminster to Fords makes sense. I'm musterings of a long-planned war. Sure. Yeah. I just hyper protect against any sort of Free People's things. A 4-2-5 with Aragorn's scary, but 20 regulars can probably take that and certainly can prevent Aragorn from doing anything in Mordor. So, Guards of the Citadel is played. Sure, just get the card out of your hand rather than manually muster, I guess. Sure. I Day Without Dawn so that I can get both my minions and Gandalf cannot come into play. House of Stewards is played. Yep. Draw into Swords and Eriador and Help Unlooked For. No Quarters, good for Free People's military shenaniganery. I get Saruman. I get Witch King. Fellowship moves. Is safe, barely. And I attack Lorien. So, Devilry, I assume, versus Advantageous. So good Advantageous. I get 1 hit. They get 1 hit. So I press. I think about it. I stop and draw. Okay, I just choose to not risk losing Lorien. Weirdly. And cycling on Lorien's pretty good too. I could cycle my Words of Power if I really want. Lidless Eye. Just try and hit more corruption cards. Shadows in the Misty Mountains is good though. I'll take it. And finally, I'm up to a normal amount of dice for Shadow. I get Give It to Us. I'm loving the red tiles and Stormcrow. A Great Host could hit in Lorien. Not, super likely, but it could. Probably just save it for somewhere else. An Ent, King Brandsman and something else I didn't see. Oh, an Ent and King's Brandsman, and then they discarded Help Unlooked For. Sure, Nameless Wood is pretty good for the setup you got here. Fellowship declares not in Lorien. Too bad. 1 eye allocated. Finally, no more eyes rolled. A bunch of musters, though, and actually those musters are kind of inconvenient. And the Fellowship gets their wills, so Gandalf was delayed for 1 round. I play Shadows in the Misty Mountains. This is a bunch of musters I don't really even know what to do with. Misty Mountains seems fine. Ring Wraiths Are Abroad. Where am I abroading to? Okay, to use it to attack Lorien and get a reroll on the Fellowship. I don't hate that. It's not my favorite. I choose a card versus card. It is Great Host versus Daylight. I do think I was trying to legitimately bait out a good card here by playing a strategy card I knew wouldn't do much. I get 1 hit, so that's nice. They get 2, which is less nice. I stop and draw, and I get Horde from the East. So a Deadly Strife is good. Lorien again. This time, I think I've baited out enough. I am surprised Vanali doesn't do Shield Wall here versus a strategy card, but I only get 3, and I get 3 back, so that's annoying. 6 HP versus 2. I press draw, so 5 HP versus 2. I draw into another Deadly Strife. I no card. I get Natin, and I take 2 back. Gah. Fine. King Brandsmen gets played, draws into Red Arrow / Scouts. That should free up a Spirit of Mordor onto Lorien, which would be less sad for me. I think about what I'm doing. I then cycle a Nirn to Gorgoroth and Gorgoroth to Morannon. Sure, I guess I'm just hyper scared of Aragorn still. I definitely think this should be a Spirit of Mordor onto Lorien right now. Instead, we Red Arrow. Okay, sure. I make some Dunlendings. Fellowship moves. Is safe, but the reroll hits Brian. Good job, Brian the Nazgul. And it's an eye, so a 1 reveal. We love that. Fellowship takes it. I Rage of the Dunlendings a little early, but with Shadows on the Misty Mountains, I can probably put Rivendell under, and the Elven Force Pool is completely depleted, so there is no more help coming for Rivendell, and the North is not at war. Shadows on the Misty Mountains can go west. So Rivendell should be relatively free. So I swap the armies a little bit. Dimraldale comes into Lorien. Moria goes west. Fellowship moves again. And I ask this. No Gandalf? Really, no Gandalf. I'm sitting at 0 points. I have 2 pretty strong potential points in Lorien. But I wonder if Vanali was thinking about, I don't know, just maybe moving while there's only 1 eye, I guess. But man, Gandalf seems good here. But they chose no Gandalf, and I roll a 5, so that works out for me. It's a 1. We'll continue. I want to keep drawing those low, inconvenient non-reveals. I would love to draw reveals. I'd love to draw and leave the... But basically, I want to keep getting these good tiles for Gollum out and as corruption, rather than drawing like 2s that just kill the captains efficiently. So we'll take it. Lorien is attacked, and I play another Deadly Strife because I can near guarantee winning Lorien this way. I do get it, and I take 2 hits for my trouble. I do get to redraw into King is Revealed, so that's funny, because I couldn't play another 5 regulars, Sauron regulars, into Mordor, and have 25 regulars in Mordor in case. No shenanigans for Aragorn. Imagine if this game had Aragorn in Mordor. He would be so very sad. So we into the next round. So I don't know, at this point, the early game felt really awful, like absolutely terrible. The late minions have felt so very, very painful. But honestly, the Fellowship's at effective corruption, -3, 3 steps from Mordor. I have Lorien. I have a pretty good shot at Rivendell. Like, that's going to fall. Just takes a couple moves to do it. That gets me to 4. I can pick off Dale at some point from the east. And honestly, well, the Carrot guys will make that less exciting. So, like, but with what army? Yeah, I do draw into the last red, so I have all the reds before Mordor, which is nice. And Free People draws into Power 2 Great. That's what I would say to you, Vanali. And a Daring Defiance, which is nice. Fellowship is okay. I confirm that was Declare was intended, and they did indeed intend to declare. I go 2 eyes because I'm fully in on a corruption game here. I roll 2 more, which is the absolute most I want. And thank goodness the Fellowship doesn't roll like 4 hybrids or something like that. I kind of lucked out there. That was pretty greedy on my part. I bet that Palantir was them considering Power 2 great, but they instead move. I hit, and it's a 1 reveal. Loving those reveals. Just keep soaking those moves. Play a red tile, get it in the pool. Fellowship hides. I go ahead and put rerolls on them, partially because I have a half move I don't need a lot to do with. And partially because I'm all in on a corruption game. Fellowship moves again. They're trying to get to Mordor this round. I get the hit twice. For 2, obviously that's going to be a captain gone. I attack Rivendell. And Power 2 Great is played. Bleh. And I don't have a flag card. So I can't clear it. I'm really, really willing to give up Lidless Eye, but I can't clear it right now. So I put a regular in both. I have a muster I don't need to do a lot with, so I just put a regular in the 2 strongholds that are undefended. I don't know. I'm not sure that was necessary, but I don't have anything else I want to do with it. Ring move to get to Mordor. I obviously hit, and I get a 3 reveal. So that's obviously all the rest of the hobbits. The rest of the Fellowship. The stronghold draws a 1 reveal. What they're already revealed, so they have to tank it. So at 4 corruption, we went. Fellowship took 7 corruption that round, and this is the pool going into Mordor with 4 reds. 3 reds. I think I still have 1 in hand. Yeah. So 1 blue, 3 reds. Only 2 nice tiles for Gollum there. I mean, I'm calling the 2s as bad, but the 3s are definitely bad. So 2 3s, 4 eyes, and 3 red tiles. That's a not good pool. And I'm just gonna go ahead and throw the 4th red in there. I have implicitly successfully defended the Free People's military victory. It never went anywhere. Nothing was ever strictly tried, but I have made it impractical to do so. So now it's just a corruption game. Now it's a how many times can I cycle with the Witch King game. And I've got all 4 reds already. So Free People get Dead Men. Maybe that matters. And Eomer. Sure, make Rohan completely untakeable. I don't think you need... they do have Mithril Coat, so that's good. I don't think you need Spirit of Mordor anymore. I draw into Grond and New Powers Rising. No flag card. But New Powers Rising is good. Maybe I can go get Helm's Deep. No Gandalf the White means I'm not afraid of Ents. Throw the Daring Defiance. Yeah, just still favoring that Scouts. The little ship goes in, and let's go look at that pool. Yep, look at that pool. So 3 good tiles for the Fellowship. The 0s and the 1. The 2s aren't awful. And everything else sucks. The eyes aren't. The eyes depending entirely on what I roll, but still. 1 eye allocated, 1 more rolled. I wouldn't mind 1 more there, but 2, we'll take it. Only 2 movement for the Fellowship, so that's good. They hide, obviously. I get the mouth, partially because I always forget to mouth. I've been forgetting to get the mouth recently. I have a muster I don't need to do anything with. I don't have any cards I need to do. I don't have a way to cycle with the Witch King. I guess I could... Yeah, I can't cycle. I can't put him in Rivendell because I don't have a... Can Nazgul fly into Power 2 Great? I guess they can. I could put the Witch King in Rivendell, but again, I don't have a flag card to cycle with. So, yeah, Gandalf the White is now brought in.
Nor
Yeah,
is he
that
early.
makes sense.
He arrives precisely when he means to.
Okay, I move all my... Yeah, I think stacking all that's fine, although I know for a fact something I was thinking. Gondor moves out, which sucks. I'm just terrified. Like, if that army gets up to Dol Guldur, liberates Lorien, or, well, they wouldn't need to do that. There's no elves to get, but still, like, I don't have the 2 regs in Dol Guldur and Moria are not enough to defend if something goes really sideways here. I don't need that in my life. Yeah, and the Pelargir guys comes to makes a full 10 stack. I try and attack Rivendell. Turns out even Grond cannot pierce the power too great. So I play King is Revealed. Ha! Take that. Yeah, he's sitting in his 10 HP in his Gileath. He's revealed. And now I can do stuff like move 10 armies out. One sec. I can move 10 regulars to South Ithilien and still have 5 regulars in Minas Morgul, 5 regulars in Gorgoroth to fall back to Barad-dûr if needed. Just prevent any shenanigans. Vanali asks, how funny am I feeling? I don't remember exactly what that was they were thinking about, but whatever. I draw a strategy card. I draw Pits of Mordor. I love seeing that here. I was looking for a flag card, and obviously I'd still love to see one. But Pits of Mordor can really prevent some Free People's military victory. Pardon me, shenaniganery. The North goes down to war. Yep. Not loving that. I am out of Isengard units when I play Power 2 Great of regulars, so that's a thing. Could have done the Swip Swapperoo in Orthanc once first to have enough regulars, but I don't know. I don't see the South Dunlanders mattering. I've already played Rage. And then Vanali moves Rohan down. I think the North going fully to war is way more helpful here. You can threaten Dol Guldur with 6 regulars from the North. Like, that's actually a legitimate threat. Don't know. I'm not seeing that one. And then I army move the Eastern Emyn Muil guy to Dead Marshes just to keep preventing Through a Day and a Night. And I start bringing up the Southrons so that I have enough armies to take this Aragorn army, or at least contain it. Excuse me while I go hack up along. Okay. People are on 6 dice. I'm on 10. They get Fearfire foes, speaking of the North going to war, and I will go alone. Obviously, I will go alone is not useful, but Daring Defiance could be, although that's a lot of leadership to sack for it. What do I draw? Breaking and Corsairs. Now, love to see Corsairs. Not super helpful, actually, right now. And in fact, it's a flag. So I'm probably going to use that to clear Power 2 Great. I will go alone and Shield Wall are thrown. Sure. One I allocated. One more rolled. A lot of musters. A lot of musters I don't need. Now, I mean, they'll protect against a Free People's thing, but with that roll, the Free People wasn't doing much shenaniganery. I mean, Through a Day and a Night and 4 attacks with a ring. That's not nothing. Play Mithril Coat and Sting. That's an excellent play for them. I was quite tempted to kill the Mouth with that. Oh, that's the funny thing they were considering, was attack North Ithilien and play Blade of Westerness to kill the Mouth. That would have indeed have been funny. I swap regulars for elites in Orthanc. That's not a valid card to play with that. That is a valid card to play with that. I just manually muster an elite in Orthanc. Sure, I'm just at least pretending I'm going to go and get points at some point. Fellowship moves. Reminder, this is the hunt pool. And Red Eye. So, obviously, you got to use the Mithril Coat on reds. And it's a regular eye. So, technically better. Fellowship at 6 corruption, revealed 4 steps from the Crack of Doom. And it's about to be more because I'm breaking. So 7 corruption, and you threw away I will go alone. You do not, there's another way, excuse me. And you haven't drawn Bilbo's song yet, so that you can look for that at some point. But the average corruption you're taking from this hunt pool is what? Let's be generous and say 1.5. So you're going to take 6 corruption on your way up to the crack of Mount Doom. That's too much. It's looking like my game. I move, guys. I leave the dead marshes open for just a sec because I threatened taking a free Minas Tirith, and I think the free people can't allow that, even though it's not particularly helpful, and free people just abandon any free people military victory attempts by moving a full stack that will never be breached into Minas Tirith, and a nice stack to pull our gear. I clear Power 2 Great. I use Lidless Eye and Corsairs. Yep, sad to throw away Corsairs, but it's not going to be helpful this game, weirdly. I do attack Rivendell. I shouldn't have used the character die here. I should have used an army die or the mouth so that I could play the character card that I then cycle into. I forfeit 1 because that's all I need to forfeit. I get 3 hits, take 1. Sure. Vanali draws me a strategy card, which was not what was intended to happen. And then I draw into Palantir of Orthanc. A good card, but not. If I had a character die, I would play it, but I press. I get my hits. Rivendell falls. Cool. Maybe I should have considered not pressing there. I'm obviously not going to win a military victory. Don't know. North goes to war. I consider my life, and I move. Okay, I like that. South Ithilien to Osgiliath. Just keep boxing in Aragorn and start to walk around so I could go take all of Rohan from 2 directions. I think it's a reasonable option. Fellowship hides. Okay. And then I mouth attack Pelargir. Cool. I get 1 hit. I take 1 hit. I press. I take the point. Okay. I'm at 5 points. In what world do I get more points? Grey Havens? I guess? With Helm's Deep and Shire? I'm not getting those points. Again, I draw into Foul Thing, so I like that. And Fighting Urkai, could matter. Could matter. Wizard Staff is not going to help the free people much, but a Daylight might. Last Battle, annoyingly, won't work in Minas Tirith, but would have worked if they had the Gigantor stack in Osgiliath, and would have made sense to play. 1 eye allocated, 2 more rolled. That's what I like to see. Keep those eyes nice and painful. Free people get a roll that's going to allow them to dig for Bilbo's song, but not much else. They move. I'm not sure that's strictly necessary to do immediately. You could dig for blue tiles yet. I don't have more red tiles. But draws into the 0. So one of the very few good tiles, certainly one of the 2 best tiles, and 2 of the top 3. So, yep, that's good. I do play Foul Thing. I think the likelihood of drawing an eye here is relatively low. I do draw the red one, which is kind of annoying, but I probably should have waited till the free people were out of dice so that the reveal was more impactful, maybe. And that's not really a thing. MT from Osgiliath. Why am I doing that? Okay. Sure. They play Grey Company. Oh, they draw a Grey Company and kill Wizard Staff. Sure, because there weren't enough elites in Minas Tirith. Could make it a 0-5-5. Why not? I flip the mouth. Sure. I'm not even going to pretend I'm going to go get more points somewhere else. I play Palantir. Sure. They kill Palantir. Sure. I stack on Lasarnak to protect against Path of the Woes becoming a giant pain in my butt at some point because that was discarded earlier, so I don't know it doesn't exist. Lamadon Musters and Dol Amroth Musters. Sure. I draw into Candles of Corpses. That's a good card for me. It could be, at least. Free People draws into Horns, which is, not going to matter. Throws away Spirit of Mordor. Cool. Finally. I make an elite in Dol Guldur because nothing matters. And that muster wasn't going to do anything for me. I probably should have made an elite in North Dunland for the abstract possibility. Whatever, it's fine. Nothing matters. Free People do draw Danes and Bilbo's Song. Obviously, Bilbo's Song is the big winner there. I draw into Shadow Lengthens and Flocks. Obviously, Candles is the big winner there. They threw away an Ent and a threw an interesting an Ent. Yeah, just completely give. Oh, yeah, the Nameless Wood Ent, I guess. And then threw a Day and a Night. Sure. One I allocated because that's all I can do. One more rolled. I'd love one more, but how it is. Free People plays Bilbo's Song. Might be enough to dunk, I say. With that, it is. Potentially 3 moves. But it's still, this hunt pool, you're taking 2 corruption per move on average, if not way more than that. And 2 corruption is more than you can take. Golem will help some. I cycle the Witch King around. I think about how many eggs to put in one basket. I.e. Nazgul on top of a Aragorn. Fellowship moves and draws the blue. Okay. Starting to look like a game. Yeah, I talk about needing a Shelob 6. I play Candles and I get my hit, which is a little above average. So got a little lucky there. Bring the Fellowship up to 7 with this hunt pool and 2 steps to go. Could be done. They talk about chances. I'm not going to think about that. They move again and hit a 3. You cannot meaningfully take this 3, I would propose, without revealing. I think you have to give up on this round being a win, because why would you need this round to be a win? And I don't have a Corruption Adder. I don't have Morgul Wound. I don't have... what would the other one be? I've already played Breaking. I've already played... Don't know. Brain's not brain-elating. I do attack Minas Tirith. I am going to be cycling character cards. I cycle They're Terrible versus Sudden Strike. The pre hit 2 of my guys. I forfeit 1. Why am I forfeiting 1? I should forfeit everything. Oh, I remember. I want to lose guys, because then I can reinforce with Osgiliath. 2 each. Great number. I stop drawing to Cruel Weather. Cruel Weather is not helpful. Fellowship hides. I reinforce from Osgiliath and move out towards, the west. Not that it matters. I attack Minas Tirith. I cycle Cruel as Death. I get nothing. Fellowship gets 3. Ow. I stop draw. Isildur's Bane. Tile drawing card. Card. 4 of the 10 tiles are eyes, though. Which is not great. But if I draw a 3, it's game over. Fellowship passes, and I take my shot. 2 out of 10 to just straight win. 4 out of 10 are bad for me. The others are fine. I would like to not draw the Shelob. Actually, the Shelob's kind of has a 50-50 of being a straight win. So call it 3 for a straight win, 4 for not great. I draw 2. And now Fellowship has to make one move against this pool. They have to hit the 1 in order to not die. I ask if they want to reveal. They can't because he's Ilders. Okay, sure. Rohan goes to war. Sure. I reinforce Minas Tirith again and move towards the Shire because I can. Elven Ring is used to draw a card and does draw into Smeagol Helps Nice Master. One of the very few cards that would help here. I Elven Ring to draw a character card. I get Balrog, which does not help, but at least it means I don't draw Balrog next round. And free people draw Elven Cloaks. So a little bit lucky, but there were only 8 cards left when they started drawing. And there were 3 blue tiles in there. So not unreasonable to get that many. They draw something else that doesn't matter. I get Orc Patrol. And a Swarm of Bats. Fellowship, okay. When I allocated, I have Palantirs and characters to play Orc Patrol, and they have wills and characters and Palantirs to play blue tiles. So in goes Smeagol Helps Nice Master, and I get to Orc Patrol. So I'd love to get the blue out. I'd love to draw draw the 1. I'd like to draw anything other than an eye. 4 out of 10 are eyes. I draw the red eye. Gah. Okay, that's fine. Fellowship still has to move and only... Oh, well, we'll just skip ahead. They play Elven Cloaks. Fellowship has to move and has to hit a 3 out of 10. I have nothing else to do. I can't even cycle because I don't have any character cards. I draw a character card. Morgul Wound would have loved to have that a little bit ago. You're out of red tiles and tile drawing cards. That's what you think I say. I know I'm out of tile drawing cards. I forget if I have one more in there that can do a reveal damage, but doesn't matter. It couldn't be played. So Fellowship draws. They're looking for File, I guess. But yeah, so if you drew File, played it with the will, and ring moved, that would improve your scenario. I attack Minas Tirith and cycle Morgul Wound because I can. And I try and snipe Aragorn, but I get confused 3 times. But I do snipe a Hobbit. And then I get 6 hits on me. So 7 hits. Jeez. But I did kill Pippin. Or I did kill Merry. I draw into Warren with Sorrow and Toil. Doesn't matter. Minas Tirith Sorties because why not? I get to cycle a Swarm of Bats. But they get their 4 hits. So the Witch King dies. Sure. I Shadow Lengthens to... but that's the wrong one. I move armies. They move. Yeah. So there's the hunt pool. 3, 2, 1. And I say 1, 2, 3. It's a blue tile. Oh, that was rough. I felt I clawed my way back in a game. I didn't have minions till round 5. Only one of the, depending on how you want to count, only one of the reds was quote unquote drawn on the hunt on Mordor. But if you want to count the other way, 3 of them were drawn. But yep. So thus ends my run in the 2026 base game tournament. I lost both games, and therefore I'm out. Vanali gets to advance to fight Ira for the next round. So in all honesty, this didn't feel too bad in the sense that we were just fighting for the honor of losing to Ira. So we'll see if you get to see his games later. Obviously, he would be the one to cast those if you do. But good luck to Vanali. I wish you all the luck. It was a fun game and well played. So like I said, this ends my 2026 tournament. look for a video next week. Actually, at B Hilly and Ace sent me an interesting game, so we'll see what we can get some interesting videos still coming at. That's it for me then, and thank you all, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.